This is not the Season 8 review that I wanted to make, but it's the Season 8 review that I need to make. Now, unless you're a pro player or someone whose kink is pouring your wallet directly into someone else's mouth, I think I speak for everyone when I say that Season 8 of the finals was probably the most disappointing one that we've had in the past year or so. This season started off with so much potential, with a whole season themed around an IRL esports event. I don't think I've ever seen a multiplayer game do that before. The stage was set, the grand majors were the entire theme of the season. The teasers we got for Season 8 towards the end of Season 7 were all pointing towards something crazy happening with the majors, like, oh no, maybe CNS is gonna f with the majors somehow, or who knows, maybe there's gonna be some kind of interruption and there's gonna be some kind of tie-in with the majors in the game. There was so much potential going into Season 8, and it just kind of turned out to be a wet fart of a season. I started off the season super hyped for it, but it really does feel like Season 8 of the finals took 2 steps forward and 1 step back. Because believe me, there were some really good things that came out during Season 8, but unfortunately for every good thing that came out with Season 8, I can also say something negative about the game that it either has yet to address or new problems that were introduced based on some of the new additions that they've had. For instance, let's just talk about the new weapons, okay? On one hand, the P90 and the BFR were great additions to the weapon pool, but Light got fuck all this season, and the LH1 buff does not count. That thing just basically has a fucking light switch at Embark, whether they make it good one season or bad one season, and this was the season where they turned the light switch on. Playing Light this season really kinda sucked, and there's no ands, ifs, or buts about it, but we'll get back to that a little bit more in a second. On the topic of the P90 is the best addition we've had to the medium class in a very long time. But in order to get the P90, they gimped the 2 best things on the medium class that made it fun to play. Okay, I say this every single season, but the medium class is the unloved, beaten stepchild of this game, and they haven't done anything to dissuade me from that opinion this season. Because while the P90 I do still genuinely think is one of the best weapons on the medium class, that doesn't mean that we should have had the pike nerfed into oblivion to get it. On top of that, the dematerializer nerfs went way too far with it, okay? Look, drop the DMAT charges to 2. I don't care. I think that's completely fair. Give us the little fucking sound indicator and the screen indicator letting us know when it's used. That's fine too. I have no problem with making it so that the dematerializer can't just be some kind of secret trapdoor that no one hears and you can use 12 times in a row. The biggest problem with the dematerializer nerfs that they brought this season was the delay when you bring it up in order to use it. I swear I have been killed so many times this season just because my dematerializer got brought up and then I basically had to wait for my fucking thumbprint to unlock it before I could use it to break through a wall. And this wasn't a small delay either. It felt sometimes like I had to wait a whole second or 2 in order to use the dematerializer after I pick it up. In a fast-paced game like the finals, having those couple of seconds of downtime before you can use a gadget is really detrimental. And I'm not saying in any way, shape, or form revert the dematerializer. I'm perfectly fine with some of those other nerfs to it. The fact that I have to bring it up and I have to wait those couple of seconds for me to be able to use it, that's not just a nerf, that's someone taking my fucking kneecaps, not even shooting me in the kneecaps, they are fucking taking them and running off with it. And don't even get me started on the pike. They nerfed that thing in every which way to Sunday to make it so that you didn't want to use it, right after coming out with a mythic skin for it, by the way. Real nice touch there. And look, I get it. The pike was far and away the best gun on medium, and it kind of needed to be brought in line a bit. But rather than bringing some other things up and bringing the pike down so that you could, I don't know, maybe have more of a reason to pick the other shit on the medium class, they just brought the pike down so hard that now the best thing to use is just either the FAMAS or the P90. So even though I'm going to chant till the end of the earth that medium needs some love, I know at the end of the day, they just love to rip on the medium class, and nothing is really going to change that. Back to the good things that they added. Head-to-head was added as a permanent game mode, which is really nice because it gives people the opportunity to just play a final round. But terminal attack is completely gone out of the game now. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I played terminal attack a whole bunch. I played it maybe 1 or 2 games a season. I don't blame them for taking terminal attack out of rotation. The part about all this that gets me tilted is the fact that they took it completely out of the game. No private matches, no nothing. And why the hell are they doing that when I can still play Bank It in private matches 2 seasons after it got taken out of rotation. It was a really, really unloved mode. It was something that barely anybody played, but there were still people out there that played Terminal Attack and liked it. Hell, I think Terminal Attack is a great mode if you want to just run some private matches with people and just fuck around. But you can't do that anymore, because it's gone. And speaking of things that are gone, Thermal Vision got removed, which I'm a big fan of because I think Thermal Vision is just the worst selfish pick for a light in the whole game. Okay, I'm pretty sure a self-proclaimed diamond player is gonna jump in the chat and tell me that I'm a fucking moron for thinking that Thermal Vision sucked, but I digress. I don't really care what they think. Okay, Thermal Vision getting taken out of the game, A+ choice from me. But they nerfed smokes into the ground to compensate for that. They said their reasoning for that was that, oh, smokes don't really have a lot of counterplay, so we're making them weaker. What the fuck do you mean they don't have any counterplay? Have y'all heard of gas? Have y'all heard of explosions? Have y'all heard of sonar grenades? Have y'all heard of proximity sensors? Like, I can think of 9 ways to Sunday to counter smokes and be able to deal with them, but apparently just because there's no instant, like, get the fuck out of here smoke, then they had to go ahead and kneecap it since Thermal Vision got removed. I'm not one of those people that thinks that Embark really favors the light class over all the other classes and nerfs every other class just so that lights can zoom around everywhere like they're fucking mosquitoes at a buffet, but this choice made it really hard not to feel that way. Another good thing that got added this season was the instant replay system and the improved destruction. I have caught so many people that are clearly cheating and been able to report so many more cheaters because of the instant replay system, and the improved destruction has really improved the feel of the game overall. But the servers are the worst they've been in this entire game. Seriously, the server problem started in the beginning of Season 7. They were getting a little stuttery, you know, not as quite consistent, but the servers were never so broken that we felt like we couldn't really play the game. This season, the servers have been so fucking bad, it's not even funny. I am getting packet burst everywhere, I am dropping frames, okay, and I pay out the ass for my internet, so I know it's not me. And a lot of other people have been saying this too. Ronin, Combo, fucking LukeOnSteam, everybody has been pointing out that the servers are just not good right now. And implementing these items are great, but it came at the cost of the servers being in an even worse state than they were last season. I'm sorry, but that just isn't okay. Now, one good thing this season, depending on how you want to look at it, is we got 3 LTMs this season. There was barely a week where we didn't have something special going on. But 2 of those LTMs were reused and Ghoul Rush was fucking garbage. Look, I know in my video on the 8.6 patch notes I had fun playing Ghoul Rush. I had fun for about 3 games and then I realized, this mode actually kind of sucks as a zombie mode. Why the hell are we all shooting each other when there should be a zombie trying to infect all of us? The blueprint for a zombies mode in a multiplayer shooter has been there for a long, long time, okay? Look at Halo. Look at Call of Duty. Sorry, I just got sick trying to say that. But look at Call of Duty and Halo. Those games have had zombie modes in them since the fucking 360. The blueprint is there and it should never change. I didn't want some kind of crazy innovative mode with the Ghoul Rush LTM. I just wanted the zombies mode that we all are used to playing and have fun with. But instead, we got a game mode where zombies were running about while we were all shooting and betraying each other. You know, hey, actually, no, I take it back. Ghoul Rush is perfect. It's the perfect metaphor for humanity. We're all busy fighting each other that we don't realize that there's literal fucking zombies everywhere trying to take us over. On the topic of the other 2 LTMs, Heaven or Else was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed Heavy Hitters, and I like that they changed it up and made it the Spear this time around, so at least it wasn't the exact same LTM. But Blast Off Sour Core, as I said in my Blast Off video that I posted a couple of weeks ago, Blast Off was controversial and not a whole lot of people liked it to begin with. I'm in the minority that I actually don't mind it. I think it's a nice change of pace from the regular cash out game modes and whatnot, but I didn't want to see it come back, especially not when it's only been last season since we've played it. And on the same map, no less. I get it, Bernal was already there. They probably wanted to just be like, all right, fuck it. Send us back to Bernal with the nade launchers. Here we go, here we go. But god damn, was this LTM just a bad way to end the season off. Seriously, my playtime at the end of this season has been the lowest it's been since I picked the game back up at the beginning of Season 5. And that's saying something. All in all, the LTMs this season really kind of sucked. You know, there's no ands, ifs, or buts about it. One more thing that got added that I think could be seen as positive is the new matchmaking system really aimed to sort players out based on if you were alone and solo queuing or if you were partied up. And that's a really valiant effort there. That is probably the biggest thing that drives away new players, is when you're just trying to solo queue and learn the game and a fucking 3-stack of esports major legendary players are on the other team trying to get a 40 fucking kill compilation for a goddamn TikTok. That shit's annoying, and I'm really glad that they made an effort this season to try to separate those players out. But that effort fucking sucked. I'm just gonna be straight up with you. Matchmaking is the worst it has ever been this season. Specifically, something happened around patch 8.6 and the matchmaking has just been atrocious since then. At the beginning of the season, when they first implemented this change, I was getting paired up with 3 stacks every now and then. I would say about 1 in every 5 or 6 games, I was getting slotted in as the third wheel in a 2-stack in a game full of 3 stacks, okay? And that happens, I get it. We don't have the player base of COD, Halo, Overwatch, or Marvel Rivals, or any of those other games, so you're bound to get slotted in as a third wheel in a 2-stack every so often. After patch 8.6, that was almost exclusively my experience. I got queued into a game with a bunch of solo players maybe once every 4 or 5 games after patch 8.6, and it has just been consistently bad since then. Okay, Combo pointed this out in his Is the Finals in Trouble video, so if you haven't seen that, be sure to go ahead and give that a check out. But basically, he pointed out that there's no way in hot fucking hell that skill-based matchmaking isn't in the game. And I'm not about to sit here and go,
skill-based matchmaking is why I can't play good.
Because everybody screamed that at the fucking moon at Call of Duty, and then they took it out and people still can't play for shit. So, I mean, at least that's what they said they did. But skill-based matchmaking is absolutely in this game. So tell me why I'm getting paired up with 3-time Ruby players when I'm playing World Tour. If skill-based matchmaking is in the game, which it clearly is to some degree or another, I do not belong in those fucking lobbies. Okay, I am a gold player. I am consistently gold every fucking season that I play. I've gotten close to platinum the past season, and I probably would have this season too if I played ranked more, but I just simply couldn't fucking be bothered with ranked this season. I do not belong in the same game as Ruby players, and clearly skill-based matchmaking is here, so why am I showing up there? Either there is skill-based matchmaking in the game and it's pairing me up with the wrong fucking people, or skill-based matchmaking isn't in the game and the only people that are playing right now are Ruby players and Ruby player smurfs. That's not okay. That is not fucking okay at all. So I don't know what the hell they did to matchmaking this season, but they better have some kind of tweak for it going into next season, because this shit cannot continue. Speaking of things that need to get taken out of the game, they did remove the prize wheel from the LTMs and made it so that if you logged in and played every day, you were guaranteed to get all the items in the event. I made a whole fucking video about that a season ago where I thought the prize wheel was absolute bullshit, and I showed you guys by spinning the wheel with every ticket I accumulated, and then I still got left with 2 or 3 prizes that I didn't get because, hey, surprise, surprise, a roulette wheel isn't guaranteed to give you everything on it when you spin it. I had a big round of applause to give to Embark when they decided to take that out. But all the other monetization this season has been really bad. Okay, look, I will just come out and be totally honest about it. I bought the Ultimate Battle Pass last season and this season because I liked the variants that were on it, and I knew I was going to be buying the Battle Pass anyway, and I really wanted to monetarily support my favorite game at the time. Okay? Absolutely. I don't mind throwing money at shit that I enjoy, but they're now starting to release 3,000 multi-buck mythic bundles. They've upped the price by 30% from where it was. The esports team bundles all had to be purchased with cash, which, look, their reasoning for that was that because multi-bucks is a proprietary currency, it made revenue splitting with the teams really difficult. So in order to combat that, they made all the bundles $10 cash in whatever currency so that the teams could get a clean split of whatever the sales were for the bundles. And that makes sense to me on some level, okay? So I'm not going to dog on them too hard for that. Tell me why the fuck we had a mini battle pass at the end of the season, which was the same price as a full battle pass. Look, the TGM pass, the second I saw this thing, I was pissed. I was irate. I saw this and I said, what the fuck? This is some shit that Fortnite started doing before it really started going downhill, and I don't want to see that writing on the wall here. Without a doubt, I know some people are going to hop in the comments and go, funny, it's a multi-buck bundle. It's 1,100 multi-bucks and it doesn't expire and it gives you 25 items. Why are you bitching about it? If it walks like a battle pass, talks like a battle pass, and costs the exact same amount of fucking money as the regular battle pass, say it with me now, it's a fucking fucking battle pass. The reason that this in particular pisses me off so much is because these skins are all absolutely themed around the Grand Major. They've been working on this shit for a long time. Seasons are typically done 2 to 3 seasons in advance before the content actually gets released out to us. So these skins were 100% ready before the season started. Why were they not just included in the fucking battle pass, since the entire season is based around the major? It's not like in Fortnite where they have a championship series every single season and then they drop skins for that champ series tournament at the end of every season. Okay, that's completely different. That's a unique thing, but Fortnite doesn't make entire seasons based around it. The entire theme of this season was the majors, and most of the content for the majors was opening your wallet. Like, come on, dude. Come on. And last but not least, on the 1 step forward, 2 steps back kind of thing, the new playstyle system really aimed to make the new player experience better. I didn't test it out for myself, but if you just go in there and you look at the playstyles, you can very clearly see that Embark is putting a lot of effort into easing new players into the game in a much easier fashion and making it a lot more accessible for people that have never played this game before to hop in, try some new stuff out, and figure out what they really like to use. And that's awesome. But Embark did no marketing whatsoever to try to bring in new players this season. Okay, and this is kind of just an overarching issue that the finals has had the entire lifespan of the game so far. They have done nothing to advertise that the game exists. Short of an occasional YouTube ad that I see maybe, what, every 40 fucking videos or so, I never see any kind of advertisement for the finals ever. And I know a lot of people were thinking that they were going to try to use the majors to bring new players in, but an esports tournament itself isn't going to bring in a ton of new players like you're thinking they are. Hell, Overwatch has professional tournaments every season, and I think I'd actually rather go fuck a cactus than play Overwatch. Counter-Strike and COD have these professional tournaments every year too, but I would rather use a medieval torture pyramid as a mechanical bull than play either of those games right now. Esports alone does not bring in new people into a series, and the fact that they threw all of their chips into the esports basket this season really just made it a boring time to play for the casual player base like you and I. Unless somehow, someway you are a pro player that watches my content, in which case, thanks for the bone, buddy. Appreciate you. Clearly, there was some good stuff that came out this season. It was just overshadowed by a lot of crap. And the thing that really kind of irritated me about this season the most is that they shadow dropped it with no lead up, and they front loaded everything good this season had to offer in the first drop. In seasons past, we get that big content drop at the beginning of the season, but there's always new stuff coming out every couple of weeks to go ahead and keep the game experience fresh. And it's not just reused stuff like we had with the LTMs and whatnot this season. We had brand new shit going on all season last season. Super Cash Ball. Why the hell didn't they bring that back? Why the hell didn't they have a whole fucking event based on Super Cash Ball for the Grand Majors? That would have been perfect. I had a ton of fun playing that shit last season. And yet they decided to bring back Blast Off. Come on, Embark. Come on, I glaze you so fucking hard so often, and this is what you give me. Look how they massacred my boy. Now, look, I think more than anything, we need to understand why this happened, because it happened. We can't change it. We can't go back in the past and make them not release the season as they did. It happened the way it did. And I think it's important to understand why. There are only 2 possible scenarios here. One is probably a little more realistic than the other, but Embark either A, really wanted to count on everybody tuning into the esports and being so enveloped in that they just overflowed with love for the game by default, and that wasn't a good plan. The other reason why I think Embark didn't release a whole lot this season is because they probably didn't want to compete with Battlefield 6, Arc Raiders, and Call of Duty all in the same season. If it was just COD releasing this year, they wouldn't have given a shit. Look, Call of Duty releases every single year, and the weird fucking mouth breathers that go and defend that game like Ed Gein defends his mother weren't gonna not play that game no matter what came out. So you don't ever have to worry about any of those people. You know where they're gonna be, and they're not an available market. But Battlefield 6 coming out really did shake shit up in October, and it's around that time where Embark really kind of just took a knee for the rest of the season. On top of that, they did have Arc Raiders coming out too, but there's not as much crossover appeal between the finals and Arc Raiders as a lot of us kind of thought there would be. I mean, look, some people in the finals content space are doing really well making Arc Raiders videos. I am personally not. So unless you guys really want some more Arc Raiders content, we're probably just going to enjoy playing that on our own from now on. But having 3 big powerhouse games releasing all in the same season probably made Embark want to go, okay, well, we have the major, and that's kind of the thing we're just going to focus on for this season. Save the extra content that we're going to drop for next season and beyond. And look, if that's what they did, man, cool, but does it really make it better knowing that they kind of lowballed us this season just so that we wouldn't miss out on this while we were playing other games? No. I think if they had dropped some really good content this season, I probably wouldn't have even bothered playing Battlefield 6 more than a week or two. Because look, I love Battlefield. I really do. But I don't have anyone to play Battlefield with. I really love the finals, and I have people to play the finals with. You get what I'm saying? Now look, there's been a lot of doom and gloom this past season over the finals and what has become of it, but I am going to remain hopeful for one really big reason, and that is the teasers they gave us for Season 9. The Season 9 teasers that they brought out included a brand new map. We always love a brand new map, especially in this game where everything is dynamic and anything can be busted. A new map means a brand new playground for all of us to figure out for the next 3-4 months. They introduced a World Tour rework, which I think is fucking fantastic because it gives me a reason to play every mode in the game other than just unranked cash out. They're gonna rework ranked, which I'm not sure exactly how they're gonna do that. They didn't give any specifics yet, but when we log on to play the game the day the new season drops, we're gonna find out for sure. A sponsor rework, so now you can pick whatever sponsor you like every single season. So to all my D-Sun homies out there, you know how we gonna be rolling, and they're gonna let you pick multiple sponsors per season and jump from sponsor to sponsor? Like, okay, keep feeding me drip. I'll eat that shit up. They've got a brand new game mode coming out too, which is basically Rush from Battlefield. And look, Rush is my favorite game of all time in Battlefield. Look, I don't give a shit. I almost exclusively play Rush when I'm playing BF6. But now I'm gonna have the chance to play Rush in the finals? What? And they're bringing some new quality of life updates to the game in Season 9, which we'll see more about whenever the season drops. So, like I've been saying this whole time, Season 8 was kind of a letdown, and I'm really sad and kind of disappointed that this season wasn't so hot. I traded off making more episodes of I Taught Myself to make more kind of like overarching ranty content talking about the game as a whole, because it just wasn't as fun to grind the game this season. It didn't really feel like there was much of anything to grind for, and especially with the matchmaking changes that they made that is sticking me in goddamn pro lobbies, my playtime on the game has gone down significantly. But I do love this game with all my heart, and I believe it is one of the most unique games on the market today, and I don't want to see this game die at all. So I'm going to remain optimistic going into Season 9, and I hope all you guys will be remaining optimistic with me and joining me when the season drops on Wednesday, December 10th. I've made arrangements so that I can stream most of the day on December 10th when the new season drops, and I hope you guys will be joining me there. Thank you guys so much for watching this video today. I know it was kind of a depressing one to have to watch to, you know, discuss all the things that are going majorly wrong with our favorite game right now, but I do thank each and every one of you for tuning in. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already for more finals content. Say what's up down in those comments. Big shout out to our comedy club member Montreal 8333 and our 2 comedy club VIPs, Your Grand's Big Toe and Breckenseki 1652, who both saw this video 2 days early. If you're liking the channel and you'd like to help support us more directly, consider becoming a member of the comedy club. For $1.99, that's the price of a stick of deodorant, you can get emojis in the chat, a special badge next to your name, and you'll get a special shout out at the end of every video we post, just like this one. Or if you'd like to take your support a little further and become a comedy club VIP, you will get all of those perks plus 2-day early access to new videos that we post here on the channel. Just please, for the love of God, if it comes down to me or the deodorant, pick the deodorant. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next episode. Bye bye.